Hey guys, this is Kirob speaking, and I thought it would be about time for another, as if I do that regularly, a channel update. I've hinted at that in the last few videos, which have been a little further spread apart in time than I usually do. I've been producing, especially for this Pro Cycling Manager release and the Tour de France, releasing 2 videos a day. That is crazy much for someone who also works like 50 hours a day on automation and various things. So yeah, that was a little too much. Not that I'm burned out or anything. I feel quite well at the moment, and I'm quite keen to produce more content. But I do feel the need to make a little channel update here, because that is probably going to change in the near future with that content. I probably won't be keeping up because I'm going to be a father of a young girl, and that is just about 2 weeks away is the due date. So far everything has been going smoothly, and yeah, so about to arrive in anywhere between in 2 days from now till like in 4 weeks. So that's basically that. And I've been preparing a lot together with my wife, and yeah, everything is going well. But that means that, well, YouTube videos, which basically only take massive amounts of time and don't really make a dent in income or anything. A mini dent. Let's call it a mini dent. It's not really something I would want to be doing a lot, let's say it like that. So what I had planned for the channel in general then over the course of the next few months, because after that it should be getting a bit more back to normal. I don't say that it's going to go back to 1 video a day, because that is like crazy much. That is, let me just reiterate. Here in the background, by the way, in the background, I think what I'm going to do to show you is what editing a video looks like how much I cut out and what I do to the audio and so on. I think that might be interesting to you. So pay a little attention to that if you want to watch something. It's good busy work. So yes, what are my plans for the channel? Well, the channel has been growing decently over the course of the PCM release. Nothing spectacular, but I don't see the channel going much anywhere. It's like, yeah, okay, 11,000, 12,000 subs. That's more than what I planned on achieving. I was challenging myself. I think I said that before. I was challenging myself to reach 10,000 subscribers, see if I can do it, and from there, basically, you just crank out until you hit something that is you find the golden nut and you steal it from the squirrel, from there you just explode or something. I don't know, but YouTube has been really weird in lots of senses. And even when I get like 10,000 to 15,000 views a day, that's basically that's still no money whatsoever. It's just not feasible for the amount of effort I put in. And the thought always is, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. The thought always is, okay, where can I spend my time such that I create enough value for people such that they are willing to pay for it, so that I can get things that I enjoy. And I do enjoy making these videos, but I will probably also enjoy being with my family. So that is why I am warning you that probably there will be quite a bit less content. Very little content probably in the next 2 months, but after that I'm going to have to focus in order to provide decent content, because I don't want to lower the quality, or I don't want to record when I'm tired. That just would be terrible content, wouldn't it? So my plans are that I'm going to focus down on my games. That would be automation. And I'm also going to continue doing Pro Cycling Manager, because that is something I really like. And I will probably by then also, there are some other things cooking. Some other things cooking I could do with the channel. And I can't talk about that yet, of course. It's secret stuff. It will be good. And that is going to be something that I'm going to do on my channel here as well as content. So that secret project, so to say. And other than that, I don't think I will have too much of a time because at work it's crazy busy. It is crazy busy. We are getting towards the proper end stages of the development of automation, which is great after I've been working on that for so long now. Since mid 2011. That's a long time. 8 years. Back then it was just free time, nowadays full-time job, obviously. But that is going in the right direction now. And people seem to like it more and more, see that there are big changes happening to the game. It was a little frustrating that we had to work so much on stuff that was just not visible with the new engine, with the Unreal Engine, and now things are finally the fruits of that labor, where there were 1.5 years of very little changes and updates. There were updates like major things, here's a completely new game version, and here we have added back things that you previously had already. That, in that sense, things that people had previously already. Only those things have been added back. And now the last year or so has been pretty good. Where it really pays off to have switched to the Unreal Engine because development is just so much more solid. And of course our team has grown slightly as well. And everyone has become more accustomed to what they're doing and better at it. So it's good stuff. So the automation is going well. But what I'm going to say with that is that when a project reaches its end, you're not going to stand there and say, what now? That is not how game development works. So, of course, we are already thinking about and prototyping things that are coming thereafter. And that is, of course, nothing of that is even close to being announced, and probably those things aren't even going to happen. Because, in game development, it's you have a good few ideas, and then these good ideas turn out to not be that good after all, or be completely different on the other end when they come out and be realized. So it would be foolish to, in such early phases, talk about that. But of course, we are looking forward to the future, and we want to continue making stuff after automation is done. Automation, of course, remains the primary focus. So currently, as the lead designer and producer, I'm of course in the seat of prototyping new stuff as well, on top of what I'm doing for automation. So basically working on several projects now, and on top of that, the YouTube channel and becoming a father. Well, that's quite a load, and I don't want to burn out on any aspect of that, and want to keep the spirits up in that sense. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to just not feeling the need to cover that many different things. I know it's so weird with YouTube. YouTube actively punishes you for doing that, by the way. It is the very best to have a focused channel that just deals with one thing, like one game, for instance. And that is because you split your audience. And people who are watching the one thing, game A, are probably not fans of game B, especially if they're very different. If they're very similar, okay, that's a different matter. But if they are so different, then you split your audience, and that means that for every video you put out, you only reach half your audience, if they're split, and that makes growth very slow and inefficient. Nonetheless, of course, I have pretty much built an audience around A, cycling, and B, automation. So yeah, I think that's the two things I will be focusing on mostly. Unless something else comes up which I really enjoy and want to share with you, then of course I would not hesitate to put that on the channel too. But just be aware that if you are here for other content, then those two things, then either check those things out and see if you also like that, or yeah, I mean, move on is a perfectly viable option. There's plenty of good content creators out there, and I don't want to force you to watch myself plot along, swear along, and make stupid jokes. And let me just point out that if this sounds defeatist to you, or as if I'm down or something, no, I'm really not. I'm looking forward to what the future holds, but I also have to recognize that I can't do it all. After all, I'm not a feminist. So no, I can't do all of that. That would be crazy. I would certainly break if that was the case. So I want to continue doing the things that I do well. And with that, I think focusing just 2 games will be fantastic. So let's talk about the specifics of what is coming for the series. Let's talk about automation first. So I'm looking forward to playing the light campaign again. Don't forget that I can't put out automation content all the time, because after all, that is what I work on. And like, let's go home to work with the game. No, that's probably not so cool. But after a while, I haven't played the light campaign in quite a while. I of course love the game, so I'm looking forward to playing it again. And with the next patch number 7, light campaign V3, patch number 7, we are going to put in lots of new cool, new gameplay dependencies, flesh out a few things, fix up a few things that are not optimal. I mean, the game is so far from being perfect, it's crazy. I could probably be one of the game's greatest critics. Just so many things that I'm not satisfied with in the game mechanics. But of course, also there, you can't have it all, you can't change it all. That would make that development time is forever. And, well, okay. Sarcastic tongues might now say, like, well, isn't 8 years basically forever? And I would have to agree to some extent, yes. 8 years are kind of forever. But I think we're still delivering really good stuff, and that's what counts. Quality, and people are enjoying it. And our ratings are over time increasing, not decreasing, so I think we are overall doing a pretty good job. But what would the campaign that I'm going to play, the next light campaign playthrough, be about? Good question. Glad you asked, because I don't know the answer. One thing that is for sure is that I'm going to, at some point, recreate the fastest car in the World Series. That was a big success. People loved it, and so many have told me that they would like to see an updated version in the latest Unreal version, because there's so many new gameplay mechanics involved, and those make the challenge quite a bit harder. So I'm also looking forward to that, if that is even possible, the way I set out the rules back in the day. Yeah. So, what would you like to see as a theme for the company? And also, should it be a contest once again? I do have an idea for another contest, by the way, which could be really fun, but only like 2 or 3 episodes or whatever. Probably should be doing that reasonably soon, although if then the baby comes and I'm like away for 3 weeks, that wouldn't look good. Like, hey, deadline, and then you hear nothing. Carob, where are you? Where's this stuff? We come with pitchforks now. and my wife would be scared. No, that wouldn't be a good idea. So maybe wait a little bit with that after all. But yes, I have been thinking about making a truck company, truck and off-roaders, and we call it Trucks and Turds. And because my design skills, although I'm not going to design them, that would be up to you once again. And I would have a smaller design competition that time around. It was a lot of work again. I wanted it to be that way, and I thought it was very successful. The Frunian Supercars was a brilliant series, although the competition videos weren't that much watched. I think something around 1,000 views or so. Is that worth it? It's borderline. I've made content which gets far less views than that, but I mean, yeah. Gotta put in the work somewhere, right? So that could be done. And Trucks certainly caters to a different type of designer than Supercars. Next time. And I think that would be a decent opportunity to get different people also involved in designing stuff. I would like to grow the circle, not only sports and supercar designers, but just in general, many of them, of course, who are designing those supreme supercars are great designers in general and just cope with their stuff well. So there would be no names in there, no worries about that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this stuff. Should be good. And I think after Trucks and Turds, I could do, as a nice contrast, the fastest car in the world series. The new iteration of it. That would be fun. And probably going to structure it again, such that we make a play-along. So that I have specific times, like one video each week, and I announce the exact release date of these episodes, and everyone who wants to play along has to release his video at exactly the same time, how he copes with the challenge and solves that one, so that no one can grab the solutions from anyone else who's participating. I think that could be a really cool thing, and you can check out each other's cars and so on. I don't expect there to be many participants then, like who actively play along and have their stuff on YouTube, but still, I think this would be a pretty good content. And maybe I could challenge some other creators to play along. That might be good. If you have suggestions, apart from maybe Cone Dodger or something, he would probably play along. That would be cool stuff. Yeah, I think that will be fun. What do you think? With that kind of content, I think we are well covered into the new year 2020, because, like I said, less time, lots of projects to work on, and until then, I probably will have one of the next projects on the channel as well. That is developing reasonably quickly, so yeah, we shall see. But the other Let's Play series, Pro Cycling Manager, that is Enrico Chevaldori, and Pro Cycling Manager in general, 2019 edition. Well, they sure broke the game in the sense of that it's way fucking too easy. It is so damn easy. They basically just took the previous iteration of the game, slapped a lot of overall beneficial skills on top of it, without nerfing the baseline, and now playing on extreme difficulty, well, it's not much of a challenge. It's not really much of a challenge. I mean, yes, I'm by now a really good player. Oh, yeah, I think you can probably pretty confidently say that, even though the comment section usually point out all kinds of flaws to which I usually facepalm as hard as I can. I have lost so many brain cells reading some of them. Not all. There's also sprayed in there some really useful stuff, or in general good suggestions, which I of course then, for the most part, like 90% of them already know about, but choose to deliberately not do in certain situations because of tactical choices and so on. But yeah, I mean, it's backseat gaming, isn't it? It's can easily get you as a content creator. Especially someone who's as technical in his Let's Plays as I am, pointing out all kinds of things. Although I would have thought that I'm a bit more bulletproof to that kind of stuff with having, how many years? 15 years of Pro Cycling Manager experience. And yeah, basically demolishing the game on extreme difficulty. Yeah. But what I It's interesting to look at the skills in Pro Cycling Manager 2019 and really see how they changed the game and make them easier in various ways. And looking back at Benji's and my discussion on these skills, a lot of these have panned out roughly or pretty well as the way we thought. So seeing that there still is no patch, no balance patch for these skills is rather worrying. And I'm worrying about Pro Cycling Manager's development. Like, the reviews over the years have gone down in general, just on average, like the broader average. They had some low points there. 2019 is doing slightly better, but it's all mixed. And basically people are saying, like, oh, there's nothing new. Now there is something new, but what do? It's like, just, whom is this catering to? This completely non-challenging gameplay. But then, on the other end, you then read comments on the forums like, oh, this is so hard and I don't know how to do this. Like, what are you even going on about? Well, I guess if you don't know anything about cycling, then this is pretty hard. And I can see that. I mean, it's not an easy game to just pick up and play without having seen anything. And as soon as you get the basics and what you're supposed to do, it just becomes so easy. Yeah. It's an interesting thing. I need to ask Benji if he's up for making a quicker, not a 2-hour long, follow-up video to see how our guesses for balance, how balance is affected, panned out. Just to do a review session, like the good Prussians did with their war. Yeah, that will be cool. That will be good stuff. But in terms of series, what am I thinking about? Well, Enrico Cevaldori is going to hopefully finish before I hopefully finish. I can't do that many videos though. Like, during the weekend I maybe get 3 or 4 done, and that's it for the week mostly. Today I recorded another video. Some days are good when I'm still awake in the evenings. But yes, so I hope that Enrico is getting his goals in season 3, or most of them, which is a good another 20-ish episodes. That's a lot. Oh man, that's a lot of work. Yes. And then afterwards, I think I would be trying another Augustine Hammerstein thing, because that is a concept that didn't get fully explored back in Augustine was on his way, but we had our struggle.
Hey guys,
and
this is
let me
Kirill
just
speaking, and
say
today
what that was, if you're new here and wonder. It was testing the skill system and the leveling up system if you could transform a rider completely. Like, if you choose a specialization, for instance, a sprinter, Baroudeur, or I think we picked time trial and sprinter, right? And see if you can make that rider into a top 10 Tour de France competitor. I think he was a Baroudeur, wasn't he? Baroudeur plus time trial. Yeah, I think that was it. And that is a complete transformation. Of course, you want to go into mountain and so on, and climbing. And that's not an easy task, because you need to evolve your potential so much, so that you are skipping out on many of these level ups, which give you better stats, just to be able to, in the end, get to decent scoring stats for performing in Tour. And that is a proper challenge. That is not an easy rider to play, because you're so fucking with the game mechanics that you're screwing over yourself deliberately doing that, of course. It's not a strong build or anything. It's a stupid build even. It's a PCM stupid build. Yes, I think taking that one to the 2019 edition, don't know if that's a good idea with how the leveling works now. That you only get most level ups right at the start, where you still have decent level ups, and then towards the end they become like super slow to obtain. Yeah, but it might be worth some looking into that. I don't want to play any cookie cutter like tour rider that, just standard stuff. It's way too easy, way too easy. And the cobble climber, as weird as he sounds, he's in some stages he just outperforms everyone so hard. I think that is an issue with the gameplay mechanics there too, in general, the balance. So the issue with that, let me, Mr. Tangent speaking.
Stuff, Enrico.
I just want to illuminate this aspect of the game design. So if you choose a major focus, for instance, Cobble Expert, right? You get certain stats, and very high certain stats, like Cobble, in that sense. Flat, yes. Stamina, yes. And then you choose your secondary. You can either choose to pick the same secondary as the primary, which gives you another slight boost in these stats, or you choose a secondary. Usually one would do such a thing that you choose a secondary which somewhat aligns with the primary. But the game doesn't have a mechanic in there which penalizes you enough for choosing something that is diametrically opposed to your primary. So what does that mean? It means that you get your primary strengths, you get a slight penalty to your primary, and then you get a secondary strength, which is the opposite of your primary, or almost the opposite. If you choose wisely, you end up with a character that is really good at everything. And that is a little bit about what the Enrico Chevaldori thing is. It's something I wanted to test. It's completely fucked. So he's basically good at everything apart from tour riding. He also has terrible recovery rating, but everything else is just so high stats that he excels more in things than his raw stats would tell you. Like, holy shit! What does he have? Like 74 in mountain. You think like, yeah, he can't compete in the mountains. Oh yes, he can, because all his other stats are so high that during the time he's not in the mountain, he is performing so well that when he comes to the mountain, he has still saved up so much energy in comparison to the other specialists that he performs really well. And I think that's a really smart way of playing it. It's somewhat broken for sure, and I would strongly advise the PCM developers to change that.
Win.
I've over the years now playing PCM come upon so many different aspects of the game mechanics that would be pretty easy to change, just slightly tweak and make the game quite a bit better. But we are rambling here. Of course, that is something they have to work on. I mean, how many more versions of this are going to come out? Are they going to actually balance the game for the next iteration? Or are they going to release a half a year after the fact balance patch after all is settled and people have moved on? Who knows? Who knows? But before we move on, I also need to thank my Patreon supporters. You are awesome to stick with the channel despite its content changing on a regular basis or irregular basis, sticking with just a few things that you might not even have come for here originally. So thank you very much. Is very much appreciated. And it is about, let's see, so a month worth of ad revenue currently on YouTube for my channel, which seems to be very low in comparison to others. Benji shared a few numbers as well of his. I won't name any numbers, but they were for the same number of views about, 4 times higher than my income. So I don't know. He has, it's probably tied to the swearing or something. I won't change that though. Fuck you guys. No, fuck you guys at YouTube. You bastards. Yes. Not safe for advertisers, or maybe my channel is not kids friendly or something. I would be totally on board with that. Kids should not watch my channel. You bugger off, you little ones. No, you can stay. You can stay and show me the middle finger or something. Yes. So that was a side track again. Yeah. What I wanted to say is that does this boil down to? Like, I think $3 roughly per video. Like in total, like $4 with Patreon stuff, like $2 from ad revenue, $2 ish from Patreon. So basically, $4 for a video which you spend 2 hours on. Yeah. I think making games which earn you hundreds of thousands is somewhat a better idea, even though it takes a little longer. But yeah, you can see that it's not. Yeah, you can't be in this thing for the money. So I don't care at all. I really appreciate that you're supporting me, and it is nice. It is nice to see that. And otherwise, I probably would be producing way less than I have been. It is, after all, a good argument. Like, look, it's a hobby. Hey, and look, it's a hobby that actually earns me a slight amount of money. It's not just costing me something. So, and as such, I quite like it. And of course, it's always cool to interact with you. Yeah, what I'm probably going to do is to open up my Discord channel to the general public, while retaining all the special ranks for my Patreon supporters. I think that would be fair. It would be a cool meeting place, and depending on how it goes, maybe it grows, maybe it doesn't. Well, we shall see, right? So what I'm going to do is probably attack that in the next few days, and should I? Maybe it's not the best idea to do that right before the baby, but right after I'm back in business, I shall do that with more content and some more focused content, and open up the Discord. Anyway, I think this should be it, and by now I certainly have finished editing that video. Usually that's pretty quick. Yeah. So I probably edited 2. Did I have another one to edit? I believe so. Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys when this is all done. Baby plopping out and stuff. Big milestone in life. I'm an old fuck after all. Finally got to it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.